talks must be complemented by actions.
Correct.
And so, Kitur, when you look at the kind of resources that we are allocating to our ICT and our science, technology, and innovation, are you convinced that we are putting our money where our mouth is?
Let's start it off this way, Brian. For the first time, and as Hari has really put it clearly, when leaders put their head and speak and commit themselves towards digitizing a country, up and even starting by saying one of the key horizontal infrastructure that we need, for instance, is like the internet access, because this is one of the key player in the industry. So the president committed to do 100,000 kilometer of fiber optic that would really reach to most of the institutions that are key in training the population to know more about the IT space, because internet plays a key role for the purposes of research and such kind of stuff. And I can tell you, being in that ICT committee, we actually passed that budget. Despite the fact that there are budget cuts across, we were very keen to be able to support the issue of access to internet. There are other key things that maybe Kenyans do not know. For instance, O'Brien, one of the still horizontal infrastructure that we need for the ICT is the data center. We have Konza City, that despite the fact that we are going through, obviously in a country, the economic challenges that we do, and there's been a serious budget cut, we were able to support the Konza. In Konza, we want to be able to have a one-stop shop where anything that is done within the country, we make it very cheap for people to be able to store their things digitally. So, when you also see we had about 25,000 computers that have been brought into the country to support the institutions across the country, the TVET particularly, where young people will be trained. We have so many organizations that have come in place, including Google. You remember recently also the president, when he was doing one of a national function, he decides to make it tech. That then he says, there's some training now that is being offered. We are lucky. A couple of institutions across the country now are calling the young people to come in for the training to access the digital space. And in the digital space, I can tell you, O'Brien, there is so much that Kenyans can be able to make through. So I want to just assure you that, and I've just named a few of them, very many things. In fact, also officers right now, you heard the president saying that he wants to move services in government to be digital. And I can tell you by June, the speed at which the various ministries are working around this, the clock, to make sure that services, because when things are digitized, they become cheap and easy to access. What does this mean? It spurs economy in one way or the other. Mm-hmm. So this is the area at which we are moving in. And I will tell you, Rwanda is a country that had actually made some bit of strides on this particular space. I can tell you Kenya is going to claim that space. And you've heard most of the international communities who speak about where Kenya is heading into. They are very optimistic, and they're speaking from that independent perspective, and they are looking at it and are saying, this is the country to watch. And as it were, even the leadership in parliament, you can see there is no single conference or there is no single big event that has happened in this country up and around tech space that we in the parliament means not to be there, because we want to always provide legislative service and be able to support so that everything can be ring-fenced and be done so well for the benefit of all Kenyans.